Hey everyone, I want to make a quick little update video on my game that I've been working on. I've been trying to work on the character, but I realized the character is pretty complicated, so I started working on the animals, which are pretty similar, and I'm going to show you what I got so far. So I thought it would be best to demonstrate this by showing you the original. So this is a deer that I downloaded, and it's pretty default as far as the animations. I set up a idle, walk, sprint, and a turning animation, and I set it up for root motion, which is kind of complicated, but we're not going to get into that. But basically, this is just like a default movement, and as you can see, our deer legs kind of hover off the ground, right? If you've played games before, you've probably noticed this and just ignored it, right? Because whatever, who cares? Most video games try to hide this by just making a map that's not too hilly, like this. Small slopes, right? They don't make big slopes like this to where you notice it, right? So we got feet hovering this way and that way. Also, when the deer is like this, it's just his whole body is just kind of poking out. It's very unnatural. Pretty much everything about this is unnatural, except for the movement and turning and stuff like that. So I thought, let's try to work on this since they have some new stuff coming out in video games right now that can handle all this. So what I did was been working on a new animation blueprint, and this one's called elk character. Let's compile and save our new elk character animation blueprint, and let's check it out. So far it looks identical because it's just the same root motion movement, but what this does differently is adapts to the ground, the slopes of the ground, dynamically. And I gotta say, it looks pretty realistic what I got so far. The body tilts to the slope, and that's what we have. Those red things are pretty much like range finders. They detect the slope of the ground between those 2 points and align the body to that slope. The head likewise inverts that slope, which keeps it level no matter the slope, which looks pretty realistic. And if we were to slope the body of this animal, the legs would actually stay 90 degrees from the animal, which would not look realistic if it was walking up this hill. The feet should stay under it, facing always towards the ground, not 90 degrees from the body, which would look really weird going up and down slopes like this. So we adjust the legs to always stay under the animal. And if we're on a sideways slope like this, we actually adjust the legs to that slope, if it's a sharp slope or a smaller slope, like this one. And we do that by bending the joints. So there's 3 bone joints in the legs of this animal, and we bend them a little extra. You can see they look a little funny, but they're bent a little extra like an accordion, so they're actually a little shorter on this side. And we do that whenever the animal is on a slope like that, and we bend them according to the slope. So we bend them a little bit more if the slope is sharp, bend them a little less if it's a gradual slope, which makes them, appear to touch the ground as a deer would. And this seems to dynamically work pretty well with all the slopes of the ground. I'm pretty happy with this movement system. I can copy this over now to all my 4-legged animals, the wolf, the boar, the fox, all that, the bear, everything, and no matter where the animal AI tells the animal to go, if the AI of the animal tells it to walk up, like a hill or something, it's not going to look kind of weird just sliding up that hill. It's going to kind of walk up the hill dynamically and turn dynamically with this root motion, which is really nice. So that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully in the next video we got some pretty cool stuff with all the animals, so stay tuned.